No doubt it's a tough job and often thankless, but this week, National Nurses Week, it's dedicated to nurses everywhere recognizing their hard work.
This job is tough. It's difficult. We see things that people shouldn't see.
And tonight, we're taking a look at what it's like for the pediatric trauma nurses at Wolfson Children's Hospital. They treat some of the worst child injuries imaginable.
News4JAX reporter Eric Avignon joining us live here in studio with a look at what those nurses go through on a daily and, Eric, nightly basis.
Yeah, I can tell you that as we honor nurses this week everywhere, I can honestly tell you that it reminds us of, or we're reminded of the fact that they have a very difficult job. The Wolfson Children's Hospital emergency room, where at any given time, nurses can find themselves treating children with horrific, life-altering and life-threatening injuries. On any given day or night, life-threatening trauma sends juveniles to the Wolfson Children's Hospital emergency room in Jacksonville, the region's only designated Level 1 pediatric trauma center, with an elite staff of nurses who have years of pediatric emergency room experience.
My name is Amy Hodge. I've been an ER nurse with children for 12 years.
My name is Denise Williams, and I've been an ER nurse for 13 years.
My name is Caitlin Carlson. I've been a nurse for almost 10 years, and I've spent 4 of those years in the ER now.
My name is Deanie Hogan. I've been a nurse for 14 years.
I'm Annie Kate Smith, and I've been an ER nurse for almost 8 years.
My name's Melissa Caslip, and I've been a nurse for 15 years.
Each one of those ER nurses we spoke with said treating critically injured and sick children was always their destiny.
I knew that I wanted to take care of children when I was in nursing school.
I knew whatever I did in life, it was going to be working with children.
I want to do this.
And working with children is never a dull moment for these nurses. One minute, they could be trying their best to cheer up a 4-year-old patient who is not feeling well.
Look, I got you, friend. Is this the popsicle you wanted?
The next minute, they could be prepping and transferring an injured infant for surgery. And without a moment's notice, an emergency requiring swift action.
You need help? There's a seizure in the lobby. We're coming. Okay.
Being a pediatric trauma nurse can be physically exhausting with very little downtime. They're treating kids with injuries that come from accidents, gun violence, and at times, child neglect and abuse. Mentally, it's a lot to take in, especially for the nurses on the staff who are also parents.
I've always told my children that if I come home after a shift and I hug you a little tighter, that it's been a tough night.
I come home and I hug them and kiss them, and I'm thankful for their healthy lives.
There's times where we have cases that come in with the Department of Children and Family, or just kids that need homes, and it makes me think about my daughter and how blessed I am to have her.
I know you guys see the worst of the worst, so how do you deal with this mentally day in and day out?
We rely on each other a lot to get through these tough times.
We do a really good job of meeting as a team here when we've had particularly hard shifts.
After we have a bad situation, we always come together and talk about it and have a chance to kind of just let out our emotions.
I knew how intense the situation was.
Tammy Daniel is the chief nursing officer over the entire Baptist Health and Wolfson Children's Hospital nursing staff. She says a debrief following the death or permanent disfigurement of a child is a necessary practice to ensure the staff can mentally focus on other young patients who still need medical attention.
People need to talk about what they're emotionally feeling, and when you talk about it with your friends and coworkers, and then you realize that you're not alone and they're having similar feelings, or that you feel like you've done everything possible, you can move on to take care of that next child.
Despite the daily physical and mental toll placed on these nurses, they all have that one mindset when it comes to their young patients.
We need to help make them better. We need to help make families feel better on top of that.
Now, one of the nurses I spoke with said the best part of their job is knowing a patient is going to make a full recovery.
Police officers, firefighters, nurses, they're our first responders. They're on the front lines. And even though you know they care, it's good to hear that reminder that their parents, their aunts and uncles, they have children in their lives, so they get it. You know, they get that fear that a parent has when you bring your kid to an emergency. So thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eric.
I would say on behalf of the entire News4JAX staff, thank you to all the nurses for everything you do. Not just nurses here, but nurses everywhere.